This is the beginning of our chasecation vlog. It is a little bit less than 24 hours until we take off from Greenville and head out to Denver for our first chase day. I'm packing up, just about completely packed actually, and Scotty Powell is on his way to come pick me up.
I'm leaving my home. I am on my way to go get Evan Fisher. We are about to embark on a 9-day stormcation is what we're calling it.
And we're gonna head down to Greenville tonight, stay the night there, and then fly out real early tomorrow morning. Chris Jackson will be driving up tomorrow morning since he's already kind of a local guy in South Carolina.
So we're going to be doing a blog throughout the event, so we're looking forward to doing that as well, keeping you involved. So,
but this is the beginning of a 8 or 9 day vlog. Every day we're going to be putting these out, showing you what we're doing, where we're going, and what we're seeing, because we're hoping to see some really cool things. I'll turn the camera around and let you see a little bit of what we're packing and how I'm getting ready for this trip. So I've got GoPro, tripods, work gloves just in case I need those if there's a tornado hits the structure. I've got clothes and toiletries and books.
I'm all packed up. I just left my family and my dog, so
I've got a tech bag with different chips for the SD chips for the camera, as well as computers and cords and sunglasses and shoes and some more muddy shoes that I can get dirty if we come on a situation, because there's a lot of flooding out there right now.
6 a.m. flying from Greenville, South Carolina to Detroit, Michigan. We'll be laid over for about an hour, and then we'll head from Detroit to Denver, Colorado, and from there it's wherever the storms take it.
So we'll see. Hopefully we see some good stuff while we're out there. We'll be out there for long enough that we should, and these first few days actually look pretty active.
Yes, it does look like it's going to be pretty active period of weather, at least through the first half of next week out in the Midwest. So
I'm not sure where exactly we'll end up yet. We'll confer with everybody before I start spewing out states. Hopefully we're looking forward to meeting some people out there on the plains. Sirens Project, as well as Stormfront Freaks is out there. We'd like to meet up with y'all. And
I'm not sure. We'll probably be Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, somewhere in that area as we start off the week, and then we'll kind of see from there where the storms take us. So again, I'm all packed up. I'm leaving Morganton here, and looking forward to this storm chasecation.
It's gonna be a good week.
Never been storm chasing, so I am looking forward to it. Excited to spend some time with the guys at Carolina Weather Group, and just look forward to keeping in touch with you all as well, letting you know our adventures. So let's hit the road. Let's go to Asheville. Yeah, Detroit Airport. So we just got off our flight from Greenville, South Carolina. So we got the whole panelists here. Let's kind of talk about, Chris, you've been looking at the severe weather today. What's our game plan once we get in Denver?
We're going to check all the meso analysis, surface analysis, see what everything looks like, and formulate a game plan. We've got 2 little locations I'm thinking about, and see which one looks the best.
Well, okay, so I think we're live here. Scotty Powell, Evan Fisher, Chris Jackson up front, driving. Literally, Evan, we landed about, I don't know, it was like 11:30. We had lunch about 12-ish, and we're already placed in a tornado watch.
So we're chasing this just east of Denver. We can see a wall cloud from here. It's a pretty heavy precip, definitely some big hail in there. And Chris is trying to get us in position to get just on the east side of that.
There has been a tornado watch issued for this area. You can see these. We had some mammatus clouds just a little bit ago. All right, guys, so we are just north of, I think, Fort Morgan. Is that where we just came through? We're watching a tornado warned cell right now. This is the cell that's tornado warned right now. We've noticed a little bit of an uptick in lightning over the past couple of minutes. So our goal is to kind of get north of this cell and try to get a better view on it. Several suspicious areas, several lowerings, but we have not been able to visually see anything yet.
Looking at the exact location of this storm right now, this is exactly where the HRRR, the HRRR, is forecasting a very high resolution weather model. It was forecasting a single cell
to pop up right where this is and just truck northeast all the way through the Nebraska line.
One thing we've avoided, Evan, was the hail.
Alright, the only way we're getting hail right here is to keep riding around the
So you can hear the tornado sirens are going off here in Sterling, Colorado. It's the first time I've ever experienced tornado sirens. Here's the tornado warning cell right here.
across the field. Right there, look. It's so small.
Yep. There's your tornado right there. Yeah, you can hear it. It really does sound like a whistle. Large. Scotty Powell, Evan Fisher, Chris Jackson, somewhere around. There he is.
Yep.
He's coming in. So we're going to give you a little recap of today. Today was our first day chasing. We got into Denver, Colorado. I think it was around 10 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
And we got on the road about 11:15ish, 11:30.
Yeah.
And by 2 hours into it, we were already seeing tornado warning cells come up. And I don't know the official count, but
it's going to be somewhere like 7 to 10 tornadoes today.
Yeah. And these weren't the big wedge tornadoes that you may see on TV. And they were pretty cool to see. A lot of these tornadoes was out in the middle of fields.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We didn't have a lot of like houses and property damage.
Yeah, I haven't even seen anything other than like some tumbleweeds destroyed today, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Get to see this weather just makes it all the more better.
So it was cool. Chris, you were driving today. We were in the midst of a hailstorm.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 2 inches of hail at one time on the ground.
Yeah. The Denali that we have, it's got four-wheel drive, and the only way I could get any traction on a paved road was using four-wheel drive because the hail was so deep, and it was actually pretty impressive for me. Like I drove fire trucks for over 10 years, and having to do that was like, well, daggum, I got to use some skills.
It was almost like it was snow.
Yeah, it was.
It was like snow. A little bit about how the structure's formed.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys can see it, so if you want to take it up here, we got a nice big. It was a low precipitation supercell, but it's starting to get a good bit of precipitation in it now. Classic mothership type structure, and what happens is, with the cold air aloft and the low level jet coming in here, it helps to really sculpt this storm up. And if you guys can see, it looks like a wedding cake. It's got layers on it, and as you go up, you can see some of the fingers going into it, and that's some of the elevated moisture is helping feed the storm. But we've been watching this storm for probably 45 minutes now.
But anyways, it's been a really good day, and I'll be honest with you, tomorrow and Wednesday look to be just as good weather-wise. Tomorrow it may even be a little bit more severe, to be honest with you, in portions of Kansas. So that's where we plan to go next. So we're going to go ahead and log off here. It's pretty chilly, and I think we're all a little tired. We didn't really sleep at all last night, to be honest with you. It's been a very long day. I don't even know what day it is, what time it is. So anyways, we're going to go grab some dinner and probably spend the night somewhere in Nebraska or Kansas. And we'll be back with you tomorrow to let you know where we're going to be chasing. We started off in Oakley, Kansas, which is between Hayes and Junction City, I believe. be the two major city, or not major, but pretty big cities. And we started out, we looked, and I think at one point where we were at, under an enhanced to moderate risk of severe weather with all modes of severe weather possible. And Chris, like we said, Chris is the expert out here. Evan and we've not done this before, so we were going off of Chris's leanings, and it turned out to be a good thing. Chris, you didn't really want to chase the Kansas City, Lawrence, Kansas populated area because of the possibility of seeing a lot of HP, high precipitation supercells.
Yeah, that's right. You know, looking at the setup, you had a moisture stream that was coming off the Gulf with a really high amount of moisture coming into those storms, and as they developed, you could just see the moisture on radars. It was just going into the first storm that developed that put the half-mile wide wedge down. So, just looking at the environmental parameters going on, I chose the triple point back closer to Hayes, which we ended up having to backtrack about 80 miles, but there was a lot of low-level CAPE, in CAPE is thunderstorm fuel. At the surface, there was a little over 5,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE, which is an extraordinarily large amount of energy for thunderstorms, and that's what tornadoes love. Combine that with a retreating warm front that allowed for a lot of, wind shear, if you will, and some low-level helicity. The first storm that formed put down a funnel within 20 minutes of going up, and it was a really brief funnel, but we intercepted the storm. Right as it was getting ready to do its thing, and I happened to look up and notice the ground circulation. There was no evidence of a funnel whatsoever, and then it quickly went multi-vortex, and then we had a half-mile wedge within 4 minutes.
We were freaking out because we had never seen these. You only see these on TV and chasing and stuff. And this was a really large tornado, and it was crazy because we saw all the steps. It was a multi-vortex, and then a cone, and then a stovepipe, and then actually roped out to this little tiny pencil. It was a crazy storm, and then we watched that storm continue to track, and we've got just the preliminary data from the National Weather Service in Wichita, Kansas. It was an EF2, and this, I think, was on the ground about 24 miles, and then we picked it up as it was going through Luray and Tipton.
Yeah, so like I said, we actually thought that it had split and died off halfway through, but it must have just been wrapped up in the rainfall because we couldn't see it. But it turns out it didn't die out halfway through, and it re-strengthened as it went through Tipton. We actually came across the damage path. There were some tractors, some farm equipment that had been tossed and mangled pretty bad, as well as some power lines that were down over the road.
And it missed the house. It was about maybe 100 yards.
Yeah, and the house had no damage at all, not even little twigs down in the front yard. It's pretty unreal how it can come that close to a tornado and not see not even the slightest bit of damage.
It's crazy how, it's not really crazy, but it's just something we've not experienced. The police block the roads out here. They block the roads. They go driving through towns with their sirens on, telling people about the tornado warning. The storm sirens were going off. And it's just things that we don't experience in the South.
Yeah, it was unreal, and it was honestly, like you said, scary at first.
All through this, we saw the University of Oklahoma's radar truck out, and we saw Kermit.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what Kermit is one of these two airplanes that we saw at the Hurricane Hunters 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I guess. And it was pretty cool. We probably saw Kermit fly in and around the storm above our heads 10 to 15 times, which is pretty cool. And like you said, we've seen people from all different areas of tornado research, from Oklahoma University, the University of Oklahoma, to Texas Tech, the Taurus Project, Embry-Riddle. So we've seen just about everybody. It's been awesome.
Hey everyone, Carolina Weather Group, Evan Fisher, Scotty Powell here with you, kind of recapping day 4. Is this day 4? I think it is. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yes, day 4. So we're in Lubbock, Texas tonight. We went down it was honestly close to Mexico.
We were 38 miles from Mexico at one point.
Yeah, and today the setup was down in the Fort Stockton area, Fort Fisher. We were in Alpine, Texas, where we came across a supercell. But they were under a slight risk of severe weather, and eventually a tornado watch was issued. And there's a few storms that popped up, but we really didn't have a good play on any of them because the terrain there is beautiful, but it's hard to navigate.
Yeah, we had to navigate through some mountains. And to be honest, I don't think anyone today saw a tornado. There were at least 10 to 15 chasers out there in the general vicinity, which, to be fair, it is a very long drive down there, very remote. And like you said, there's tons of mountains and then random plateaus that make it kind of difficult to traverse the terrain because, there's only one road every 10 miles or so. So it was a tough chase, but it was beautiful terrain, and we don't feel that bad about getting skunked in storms.
It was almost kind of like being back in Western North Carolina for you and I both. It was kind of chilly up there. It was in the 60s and kind of drizzly, but I guess we did come across some nickel to maybe some quarter-sized hail. It was kind of hard to tell. We wasn't out there. We were driving in it. And there was 2 supercells, and one thing, Evan, that I noticed is the storms, they were slow movers, and they lasted for, I think, 3-4 hours. Well, at least that one storm was going on for at least 3 hours.
Yeah, so initially during the day, we had driven down to Fort Stockton from Midland and posted up in this one spot, pretty far away from the storms, to be honest, waiting to see what was going to happen. And the storm that we ended up chasing was just sitting on just on the other side of the mountain ridge and wasn't moving at all. So after a while, we pulled up off that road, had to make a decision between going east to a big supercell that was already very well, it was really getting going. Already had some 4-inch hail in it. It was an absolute monster with some general broad rotation, or we could go west, southwest, up into the mountains as we found out. But at the time we didn't know there were mountains there, and chase some kind of outliers there. And that's what we went for.
And so we're going to be heading to Oklahoma City, kind of taking a little bit of a break from the severe weather, which we all needed. We've been on the road for a while now, it seems like. So hopefully we'll get to see some weather-related things. But Evan, it looks like as we kind of, that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time frame, the severe weather, although there's no major threats, looks like the storm coverage does ramp back up. So that'll give us the last few days of chasing.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to chase more up towards northwestern Kansas and eastern Colorado, which is where we started this week. I think we're all very excited about that. It's very predictable road networks, as well as this very flat terrain, no mountains, and it's just beautiful country. It makes for good chasing.
Definitely so. So thanks for joining along with us as we continue our chase. And as always, you can follow us on our social media platforms. We're doing CWG Chase, hashtag CWG Chase. So if you're on Twitter, you can look that up, or you can follow Evan or myself or Chris on Twitter. And we'll occasionally put things out on the Facebook page, but we're doing a lot more on the Carolina Weather Group Twitter page than anything else, and the Instagram page. So look for us there, look for our content, and until tomorrow, we'll talk to you later. Scotty Powell, Evan Fisher, Chris Jackson here. This is a recorded video. Our service is kind of sketchy, but we are here in just outside of Breckenridge, Colorado. And Evan, we've been chasing tornadoes, hail, flood. Now it's snowing and grappling.
Yeah, this is some huge grapple. Maybe a few flakes mixed in, but it's cold. Chris, how cold did you say it is?
It was 42 while ago.
42 degrees, and it's coming down pretty heavy. Actually started to stick to the road for a second a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't take much for the parking area here. It's a kind of a dirt parking area, and it's got a little bit white. But as you can see, it is really coming down, and it's June the 3rd, 4th? 4th, I think. Yeah,
4th.
So it's
40 now.
pretty cold, 40 degrees now. And it is it's pretty chilly here. I'm going to turn this camera around. You can kind of see the accumulation on the vehicle there, and you can kind of see behind us. You can kind of see behind us is starting to stick on the road. Chris is out here in his shorts too, so there you go. Welcome to Colorado in June. It started off as a little bit of rain, but it quickly transitioned to some snow/grapple. So anyways, it's kind of letting up now, but we wanted to let you know what was going on. This is our last day here on our chase, and we started off with tornadoes, and we're ending with a little bit of snow and grapple. So for Evan Fisher, Chris Jackson, I'm Scotty Powell, reporting here in Breckenridge, Colorado, where it's in the low 40s with some snow and grapple.